Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where I've done a little bit of reworking on our Coast Guard units here. These guys have been consolidated into a single unit. I've reassigned a unit over here as well because they needed 65 instead of the 64 they previously needed for some reason. These guys appear to be mostly okay, but we do have some exiled units in Haiti, so let's just go ahead and ask for military access from them, and now we should be able to move those units out of there. No problem. I also expanded this Coast Guard up here to include all of our Russian border territories, but there's no way they can defend all of that, obviously. That is to be expected. Now these guys here, they really need to be up at like 103. This should probably be split into two armies, but it'll have to do for now. So hopefully we will no longer have exiled divisions here in a moment. Once Haiti grants us military access, fantastic. And I'm hoping... Do we also need docking rights here? We may also need docking rights in order to move these units out. Yeah, that's what we needed. Okay, fantastic. So the next question, of course, becomes, are we going to restore order in the military? I have no idea. I don't know what's going on with this. We've attempted to restore order in the military several times, and the pop-up just doesn't seem to be coming. So there's that. We're also still working on fighting the Japanese a little bit over here. It's mostly the French and the Americans that are fighting them for us, though. So that is a-okay. We are also working on getting some supplies going over here. That is quite necessary. We're still having a bit of a supply shortage over here, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. And yeah, we're having a bit of a tough time pushing supplies through all of this. That said, we are working on that, and it should, in theory, be reasonably okay. We hope. This corridor over here is rough and could get cut off pretty quickly. So that is definitely something to note. Should we pull out of this and let the Americans and the French handle this section and just shorten our line to be like up here? That is something that we could do. If we get cut off like up here, all of these units are forfeit. So I think that we probably should just back off this front line to about here. Like that. So these guys, they'll immediately begin their withdrawal. No, Cuba is not ready yet. If the Americans manage to hold this, great. If they don't, well, at least we didn't have our unit stack wiped by it. So we need more technology to research over here. I really don't care what techs we research at this point. Everything is pretty much done. We don't really need anything. So we're going to move up here and shorten this line a appreciable amount, in fact. And these are ships coming up this way. That's fine. Excellent. We are going to run out of fuel quite soon. That is definitely an issue. That is most definitely an issue. Can we build a synthetic refinery anywhere? I suspect the answer to that question is no, and we would be able to if we didn't have our political power issues, but we do have the political power issues, so here we are. Let's go ahead and work, I guess, on MPs. That'll be fine. We do currently have 21 nukes on our hands. That's great. And we're working on getting additional nukes. We do appear to be holding the Japanese off nicely. What unit is this? This is a tank brigade that is low on oil. Okay, so they're probably going to get stuck down there. The Japanese may or may not be able to successfully push in here. It kind of looks like they can't. I'm not sure if they can or not. Well, that happened. So much for this tank unit. That's okay, though. It's not the end of the world that we lose one tank unit. Everyone else managed to get out of there, back to our line up here. So that's good. Yep, this will be absolutely fine. We're essentially yielding this territory to them, and then we're going to shorten this line and attempt to punch through up here a little bit later on. So hopefully that'll be okay. Restore order in the military is completed. Widespread mutinies. Okay, so we never got a pop-up on whether it worked or not. Fantastic. So we just wasted a whole bunch of political power on absolutely nothing then. Thanks, game. That's perfect. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, so these guys, they need to go into this unit for sure. In fact, anyone here needs to go into that Coast Guard unit. Okay. There we go. And we're holding out over here, but, it's... all of these units are dead. The moment the Japanese decide to attack, that's fine. It was understood that that would likely end up happening. And that's also why we started this withdrawal. It's just unfortunate that we ran out of fuel before these guys could get out of there. But sometimes that happens. Like I said, that was expected. The Brazilian peace offer. Okay. So now it pops up. Base stability, and we no longer have the widespread mutinies. After the event ended. Okay. Awkward. Very, very awkward indeed. These infantry divisions, they're going to hop in here. Wait, we have more? No, we don't have more. Okay. Just checking. These guys, they're going to make it out to the new lines, it looks like. And that's fantastic. And this will be spread out over here. In fact, I want to edit this line to include like that. Okay, there we go. We have a retreat point from there if necessary, so that should be completely fine. They still haven't managed to defeat this pocket yet, but that's mostly because they haven't tried. This pocket will definitely go away. There's no doubt about it. Hello, autosave? Is that what you were? I think that was an autosave. Fantastic. How are we doing on our tank recruitment? We're making some amounts of progress. Looks like we're short on supplies for them. That's deeply, deeply unsurprising. Yep, this is fully expected. How is Japan doing on their manpower? They have about 1 million manpower. Are they being attacked on any of these fronts over here? Oh, they're being heavily attacked in India. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, they're going to attack over here, and these guys, they're all dead. Everyone in this pocket, they're gone. We need to assume that, and it's completely fine. We're not too concerned about it. The Russian Federation wants military access, and we will actually accept that. The Russian Federation is at war with Japan, and so they will actually help us out up here. We do have an infantry division to put into this Coast Guard. Perfect. That is absolutely wonderful. There's also resistance to occupation going on up over here, and we should take a look at what we've got going on here right now. So we're currently rooting out resistance over here, and that is where we want it. We're also currently working on rooting out resistance. Where was that? Down here? I'm not sure where that was. Oh, it's up here. 57%. Okay. Yeah, we definitely need to work on that. Emboldened resistance, huh? Yeah, that's something that needs to be worked on for sure. But we are working on that, and that's great. So we are going to continue on this front over here. We're just bringing in what we can. Unfortunately, the nearest airbase is here, I believe. This airbase, yeah, that was taken by the Japanese. So that is to be expected. Apparently they have some rockets over here. Sure. We definitely do want to work on getting some additional steel here. Oh, we can get some from the Russian Federation, and that is something that we shall do. We shall also get some from the French. That puts us at negative 161. Let's grab some from the US. And yeah, them pushing us back over here is unsurprising. Negative 78, huh? Well, this is the best we can do for now. Let's grab some chromium from Turkey, as well as Yugoslavia. And yes, I'm aware that... Oh, are we out of civilian factories? Yes, we are. Okay, so this is definitely more than we can afford to bring in. So we're going to have this be like bringing in 200. And then in terms of steel, we're also going to deliver about a total of 200. So this is 184 here. Let's bring that back to, say, 176. And then we'll have this be... Let's see, that would be 24? Yes, that would be correct. So we're only going to deliver the 200 for now. 200 and 200, which should help us produce a decent amount of modern tanks. That is 20.53 per day. That's not too shabby. Excellent. We are missing equipment production of fighters, but we don't actually care about that. Okay. So you can see here we're apparently pretty outmatched over here, but I think that with the US and French support here, it's not as outmatched as it looks. Mass destruction has finished up. That's fantastic. And what else can we grab? I mean, we can start grabbing some of this stuff that we've missed up here. That's fine. Things like scout planes, I suppose. Sure. Shockingly, these guys are still alive. Not for long, to be clear. Not for long at all. So in terms of our modern tanks, how are we doing? Plus 17.4 right now per day. That's not too awful. Not too awful at all. This front is almost certainly going to collapse up to this point. Yeah, there we go. They're cut off now. They have no supply flow except for through the Russian Federation, I suppose. Which they do have access through. So they may not actually fall, but we don't have access through the Russian Federation. We could get it, but I don't think there's that much of a point. We're just going to defend this territory up here, and that'll be fine. We have an unassigned division over here, apparently. That's interesting. Ah, these are not actually ours, are they? I believe not. But all of these unassigned divisions, we're going to assign them into this Coast Guard. So over they go. Fantastic. That will be fine. We are fully out of fuel right now. And we do need to do something about that. But we are working on all of this right now. Civilian factories down here getting finished up would be super, super nice. We would definitely like to build some synthetic refineries, but that's not currently a fantastic option. Okay, the question is this guy cautiously attacking? Yes, we're going to switch him over to balanced attack. And that's bringing a lot more people up to the front. Are we retreating over here? Yes, we are. Not a big fan of retreating, but there we are. We should probably consider constructing some fortifications over here at some point. Perhaps at this line of mountains. They're going to be hard-pressed to attack that anyway. We could build a fortification wall there, and they're going to have a really hard time pushing through it, I feel like. So if we build the fortification wall like this, that creates us a fallback line. Something along the lines of that. I'm not sure why that didn't pop up the blue the way that the others did. But, okay, whatever. Those will build pretty quickly, and they're probably top priority-ish. Top priority-ish. We'll do something like that. Actually, we'll do something like that. Okay, there we go. So the Japanese are definitely attempting to attack us over here. They're not really pushing in super successfully. And they're also attacking the Russian Federation, and there's lots of fighting going on over here in India. So overall, I'm mostly okay with being somewhat patient here. And we do have this airbase as well, that's something to note. But we are completely out of fuel. Ah, more guys over here for our Coast Guard. Fantastic. We're going to toss them in over there. Excellent. We could trade for additional fuel. That is something that we could do. We need a lot more fuel than we have, and where's most of that going? Into our army, mostly, although our Air Force and our Navy are taking their fair share. So there's definitely some of that to note. We're going to get rocket artillery upgrades, that's fine. Yeah, they're trying to attack us up over here. It's not going to go too well for them, all things considered. We're currently exporting oil. We shouldn't be exporting oil. Let's see. Current consumption 181, maximum 492. That's a lot of units of oil, considering that we don't produce all that much oil. Oh, there's a lot of infrastructure damage. And non-core controller, which isn't helpful. So there's all that. Excellent. Well, we're going to continue pushing, not exactly forward for now, but we can see that we've got a few logistical issues over here for sure. We've also got these units over here. They're going to continue populating our Coast Guard. That's pretty great for us. And we did end up losing that tank unit. Deeply unsurprising, that. Deeply, deeply unsurprising. Now, the Americans, I believe, are using their own supplies here, but they're still going to be limited by our infrastructure and such over here. We have been working on that, but not as quickly as I would like. Oh, hello. What just happened here? Something just happened here. I think we pushed back the Japanese a little bit there. Which is always nice, but we're mostly just in a holding pattern over here for the moment. Ah, 4 divisions to pop up over here. Excellent. Now, I'm going to cut down on our recruitment here to be 4+4. This is still more recruitment than our manpower can handle, to be clear. There we go. And we'll probably bring this down to 2 fairly soon. There's definitely some benefits to releasing these nations, specifically that they create some units there. Also, are we gathering any supplies that they have there? Like, do they automatically give those to us? I'm unclear on that one. If that's the case, then strategically releasing some locations would be correct. But, I mean, we can probably just straight up trade with them, guaranteed. So, like, if we were to... Brazilian Panama increases oil, right? So let's take a look here in our trade. And let's see here. Brazilian Panama has 3 available. And that would trade for a civilian factory, which is unhelpful. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So Japan is definitely facing some invasions over here. And they may pull troops from this front. If that's the case, then we may be able to push in. Our lack of oil is definitely hurting us pretty dramatically, to the point where I'm actually interested in potentially trading for a little bit of oil from the US. Let's trade for, say, something like 56 oil, and see what that does. Let's see. Okay, so that's about not the full amount that we need. 104 oil. Signal company's just finished up. We're now gaining about 15.7k, which that is less of a gain than I was anticipating there, if I'm honest. Okay. So let's go for just straight up 200 oil. That does mean that we are constructing far less quickly. Okay, this is more fuel than we need. So we can back off on that. And let's back off by 12 oil here. That's 8, that's 16. Okay, 16 will have to do. That's still a little bit more oil than we need. Okay, we're going to back off on that to 176. That seems okay. Let's try one more back off. I expect... That's good. Okay. That'll do the trick. That'll get us some oil rolling, and that does mean that we have a few extra factories over here. Now, this is continually taking damage, and we did just get pushed back over here. I'm going to go ahead and move that down to bottom prio. Okay. That'll be fine. We just need to trade so many civilian factories away right now. I actually feel like we should probably prioritize our civilian factories above everything else. Get those built. We need more of them. Okay. That's interesting. We are currently considered stronger than the enemy forces, so we're doing a little bit of attacking over here. Not a ton, but a little bit here and there. We're mostly still moving up to this front, and I mean, it's difficult to move out here. There's no doubt about that. So that's completely fine. A modern tank brigade. Yes, go fill out that army. Fantastic. We're going to stick on 4 modern tank brigade recruitments. How are we doing on our modern tanks? We're losing 130.9 per day right now. Okay. That's a lot. That's a whole lot that we're losing. Okay, that's fine. I mean, the Japanese have a lot to worry about right now, right? Like, a whole lot to worry about. They're fighting on a really long front, and they kind of can't keep this up. So our plan is to wait until their manpower drops, which will be fairly soon. Are we willing to aggressively attack them? Not really. We're willing to let them lose their manpower on other fronts. Is, I think, going to have to be the goal. So that'll be okay. That will be completely fine. We're going to get another tank unit, and that, of course, will go into here. In fact, we're going to get 2 more modern tank brigades. That's fantastic. And yes, as expected, this front is collapsing. We are currently losing fights up over this way. We don't really have reinforcements going in over there. Actually, we're winning that fight now, so that's good. We definitely need to get ourselves more logistics over here. There's no doubt about that. Our supply lines are weak over here. Unfortunately, that's not the only thing about us this week right now. Our economy needs a lot of work. Like, a whole lot of work. To the point where we're actually going to back this steel order off to about 152, and the chromium order off to about 152 as well. It will slow down our tank production, there's no doubt about it. But what it will also do is free up civilian factories to build other civilian factories, which is very, very necessary right now. We need to get those civilian factories built. This is another modern tank brigade done, and up it goes. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to hopefully start properly bringing the fight to the Japanese. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.